Jeremy, would it surprise you to know that, not everyone's happy about Deadpool and Wolverine? There's
The
specifically
gays aren't happy, right?
the gays. Specifically, the gays are not happy about this. Gay jokes in Deadpool and Wolverine sparked backlash among LGBTQ plus movie critics. And people did make a comment. There seems to be a lot of gay jokes in this movie. Shocker. A buddy comedy between fucking Wolverine and Deadpool, where Deadpool constantly is joking that he wants to fuck virtually anything and everything. He's going to make a lot of gay jokes in it. Well, people are not happy. The Guardian. Deadpool's obnoxious gay panic humor is a tiresome schoolyard.
Look at
taunt.
this guy. Look at this guy.
Fuck.
Is his name Guy Lodge?
Yeah. Guy Lodge.
Oh
this
my
summer's
God.
Deadpool and Wolverine uses the superhero's alleged pansexuality as queer bait. And it turns into a punchline.
Yeah,
Deadpool and Wolverine called homophobic over gay jokes. Deadpool and Wolverine's 5 most boring homophobic jokes. Look at this fat hoe.
Oh my God. Like, this is classic example. They cry about wanting representation. You get your Deadpool is all about jokes and making fun of everything and everybody. That's what he does. This is par for the course for Deadpool. So then you get your representation and you play victim every single time. This is how it plays out every single time.
May Root is a journalist and cultural critic who's been covering queer news for a decade. I thought they wanted representation. I guess not.
Guess not. We want representation. We want to be featured. We want to be focused or included. You get included, and then you play the fake victim when you're included. It is a never-ending story. This is why identity politics is a cancer. It always will be a cancer. There's never going to be a time where it won't be a cancer. When you have people that are obsessed with race, gender, and sexual identity, those people are never going to be satisfied in life ever. So there's really no reason to ever include them into anything that is going to be forced or agenda driven. If you have a story to tell, like, for instance, I talked about this many times. You look at one of my favorite series, Sons of Anarchy, and there's I'm going to be respectful and say like a trans character. I'll just say that because normally I'd say something else. I never heard any complaints about that. I never heard any crying about that. I never heard I never heard anything either way about that character from the left or the right because it just worked for the story. It just worked for the story. That's it. So there was never like, we're finally getting a representation within, within this Sons of Anarchy movie or television show. You never heard anything about it. It's funny how they bring it into the story for sure. It's very funny, but it works. It just works from the story standpoint. But if you're not going to do that, if you're not doing it genuinely for a story standpoint, if you're just doing it to try to include, which regardless of what you think about Deadpool and Wolverine, they 100% were trying to include more gay jokes for representation purposes. No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
I don't think it was for representation purposes. I think it was because of like the story that was playing out and the fact that it's Deadpool and Wolverine together most of the time. And Deadpool is constantly fucking joking about that shit, and Wolverine wants no fucking part of it. And like, that's the joke, right? Yeah, and I think it's ridiculous that you guys even like were complaining about that.
Wait a minute. No. It is ridiculous that Deadpool makes no references to attractive women at all. Zero. Even
you had Daphne and Jennifer Garner, and he was with them. Like, again, lines uttered between them were minuscule compared to all the other lines. Primarily the ones that he had with Wolverine or even the fucking TVA guy.
I'm not saying
at the end of the day, the entire thing is about him trying to get back together with his girl anyway.
I don't have an inherent problem with it per se, but I'm just saying that there's a reason why that there was no comments towards attractive women and all about gays because they're pandering to that crowd. That's what the whole point is pandering. 1000%. Like, it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for crying out loud. Do you think they can actually make comments about attractive women like men do? You telling me men don't make inappropriate comments about women all the fucking time? Of course we do. It's what we do. Deadpool's supposed to be breaking the fourth wall.
It's really wild to me that that's the mind frame of looking at this and looking at, again, something that's pitched as the point of the movie was to have this dichotomy of Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds being Deadpool and Hugh Jackman and Wolverine being Wolverine, and how that is like fucking oil and water.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, to me, the abundance of gay jokes in it is not a surprise at all, and I would expect it And it did not make me raise an eyebrow or anything from what we've seen in the first couple Deadpool movies at all in any way.
I don't think it made
And
me raise an eyebrow, but it's a valid
the fact that the
point.
gays are so upset about it is funny to me, in the same way that the fact that anybody else thinks that that was weird too.
Yeah, I didn't say it raised an eyebrow per se, but I think it's notice if you think about it, it is noticeable. Like, all he does is makes gay comments all the time with no comments about attractive women. It's just a little strange. So it's a little strange.